Hey guys, welcome. So today we're going to talk about what 40 million people almost saw, which is the interview between Joe Rogan and President Trump or former President Trump. If you guys watched it, it was a pretty amazing interview, almost 3 hours. And like I said, almost 40 million people watched it. Remember, in the US, is about 350 million people. So that's pretty amazing. And they talked about a lot of different topics. And one of the topics they talked about was related to the pharmaceutical industry, advertising, and big pharma in general. And so I thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about what they were referring to when they talked about pharmaceutical industry advertising. Now, you may not know this, but there's only two countries in the world that allow pharmaceutical manufacturers to advertise directly to consumers. That's the United States and New Zealand. In the United States, you can put out a commercial where you market directly to the patients. And I'm sure you've seen these commercials on television where they go through the drug and what it does, and then they give you a litany of the side effects. But I want to kind of explain, because you might be wondering, well, why is it that the United States is only one of two countries that allows pharmaceutical manufacturers to advertise directly to consumers? That's what we're going to talk about. So in the United States, as you guys know, we have the Constitution and we have the First Amendment, which provides freedom of speech. And under the First Amendment, what the government basically says is that this gives the pharmaceutical manufacturers the ability to be able to communicate, market, inform the public about their drug. Now, prior to 1997, it was a little bit different, but after 1997 and one drug that you guys all probably know about, Claritin, that kind of changed things. And with Claritin, what ended up happening was you were able to talk about what the drug does, its effects, as long as you provided a fair, balanced message, and you could list some of the most significant side effects. But as long as you listed the most significant side effects or the most significant adverse events, and you could direct the patients to either a website, for example, or a contact telephone number where they can contact someone within the pharmaceutical company, ask more questions about the product, then you were in the clear. And so pharmaceutical manufacturers, really from that point forward, were given a lot more leeway in terms of what they could say. And so I'm sure you see today a lot of pharmaceutical companies, they'll go out there and, sometimes have a celebrity talking about their own struggle with a particular disease, where they'll kind of talk about their story, and then they'll go into how the drug might work and why it's different. And then they'll end the commercial with a list of side effects. They'll always usually say, ask your doctor about XYZ drug. So they urge patients or encourage patients to ask their doctor about it. So you might be wondering, well, why is this the case? Again, so one example, one reason that like I mentioned, was related to the First Amendment, right, and free speech. The second reason has to do with the fact that in the United States, more than probably any other country, we really empower patients and we empower patient advocacy groups. I've mentioned in another video the role that patient advocacy groups play in interacting and influencing pharmaceutical companies, for example, in clinical trials. And I made a video specifically on Sarepta, for example, if you go to my TikTok channel, William Solomon. So there we saw an issue with Sarepta, for example, as it related to what they were doing with patient advocacy organizations. So with the pharmaceutical companies, they do have to submit the commercial, which is considered promotional material, to an office of prescription drug promotion, or PDP, where they review that information and then they provide an approval or whatnot. If there's an issue, they can fine the company. Most often what the issue is with the pharmaceutical manufacturer really has to do with them providing information that's not fair, balanced. All of this information, by the way, will get reviewed by medical affairs, by legal, and by regulatory affairs, also known as MLR. So the Medical Legal Review, Regulatory Review Committee at a pharmaceutical company will review this information and make sure that it's aligned with the package insert or the prescribing information language that was approved by the FDA at the time of approval. But that's really the main issue, is providing unbalanced information. So the big key here is it's got to be fair balanced. Hope you guys like this content. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment below. Let us know what other types of content you're interested in. I'll talk to you guys soon.